You know, in the Buddha's time, the Buddha was one of the teachers who is around. Yeah, he was not the only teacher. And depending on in a way, the reputation that was spread around. Yeah. In the past, there's no internet, so everything go by word of mouth. So different people would have different opinion about different teachers, and then basically they would share what they think about this, what they think about that. And it's not just about teachers, about anything, much like what we do today. Yeah. Today we have the internet. Today we have many other ways to share information. Yeah. So sometimes things are shared that is true, sometimes not true. There were times where some individuals actually share that the Buddha advocate killing. Have you heard of the Buddha advocating killing? Never. Hey, by the way, I don't know whether introduced before, but today, maybe yesterday came but today, Miko. Have you introduced yourself before? No, huh? So say hello to Miko. Miko is a long-time family friend. My mom know her since 20 over years ago. Yeah, 20 over years ago. Long-time friend. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, very good to see you come online. I think yesterday you came also, right? Or is it the day before? 你没有开你的那个 You need to turn on your mic. Still off your mic. Huh? Oh, you accidentally switch off your video. So this goes to show that Zoom need to improve the interface. Yeah, the mobile interface, because the mobile screen has limited screen estate, you know. So most of the time, mobile apps will try to hide the interface when it's not normally in use. But then as a result, if you're not used to the usage, then you may end up. Okay, Miko is back. 你的那个your mic, did you manage to find the mic? Use sign language. Okay 了。你讲话。
Yeah.
Yeah.
我是 Miko. Yeah. Is your mother friends? Yeah, it's long time ago, 20 over years.
Yeah. Over years already, huh?
Yeah, almost 30 years, I think.
Almost 30, yeah, I think so. Because because even I think when I was in uni, you already know each other.
Yes, about you only 20 years old something, 20 something.
20, yeah, 20 plus. When I was 20 plus, yeah.
Yeah, we know each other.
Marcel, how old are you? Where's Marcel?
Now I'm 50 years old.
Now you are what?
50 years old.
You're only 50,
Yes.
I thought you were older than that.
older than you, 3 years different.
Oh, so you're only 3 years older than me.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing about perception. Because my mom know her, so by extension, I feel that she must be around my mom's age.
Am I look so old?
Oh, you don't look so old.
Yeah.
So 3 years older than me. So you're 1 year younger than my elder sister.
Yes.
Wow.
Correct.
So very good to have you join us in the morning. Hope to see you come more often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will.
Okay, now you must mute yourself.
Mute myself.
Yeah, mute. Then I start sharing already. 关掉你的那个麦克风。
Microphone.
你的麦可以关掉了。
哦。
还是你有其他东西要讲的 ？OK。
谢谢。
Okay, Amitabha. Yeah, so do you all know that the Buddha was known to advocate killing? Do you all know? Don't know, right? Yeah. 师父 cannot be lah, you go crazy already lah. The first precept every day we recite Panatipata Viramani Sikapadam Samadhi. Yeah, but there was such things that was spread about the Buddha. Yeah. So then when he reached the Buddha, so someone actually come and ask the Buddha, like, oh, it was said that the Tathagata ever teaches killing. Like, so is it true? Then you know what the Buddha said? Now it will be true if the person meant that the Tathagata advocate the killing of like craving and killing, craving and clinging. Then that would be true. Yeah. So the Buddha is very skillful in this way. Yeah. He don't unlike us, we sometimes can get upset. It's like, wow, what is this? Yeah. The Buddha is very skillful. Yeah. He don't get perturbed by this kind of statements. Yeah. You see that he advocate killing, he twists it around. he in a way you can say that he twists things around, but in a way you can say that he tried to make you right. Even when someone is maligning him, he tried to make you right. Yeah, you're right. If you mean this. Very skillful. Unlike us, we are not so skillful. So yesterday I heard I heard someone tell me that that Shifu is manipulative. Huh? Have you heard that Shifu is manipulative? Yeah. Now this would be true. I follow Buddha. I follow Buddha. Now this would be true if Shifu is able to manipulate you to practice. Yeah. If this person says Shifu is manipulating you to learn Dhamma, to practice the Dhamma, then this will be true. Yeah. When do we usually use the word manipulation? Usually manipulation is to manipulate someone to serve that person's aim. And the aim is usually to benefit that person. Right? The manipulator manipulates someone who is being manipulated to serve the benefit and welfare, yeah, basically the advantage of the manipulator. Then we say the person is manipulating, right? Yeah. So I was reflecting on this, and then I was thinking, yeah, actually, a lot of my teachers are manipulating, you know. Yeah, including my mother. Actually, all mothers are very manipulating, you know. Yeah, they will say things to sometimes encourage you. Yeah, yeah, you are actually quite stupid. Eh? Wow, you're very smart. Yeah. Or you don't feel like studying, then your mom will say, hey, you're actually very smart, no? But you're lazy, no? If you study harder, you can do well, no? But you just, in a way, that's a manipulation, right? My maths teacher, Mr. E, Mr. I think a lot of the maths teacher in my time were actually Chinese ed. And in the past, they were actually teaching maths in Chinese. So sometimes they teach how to use Chinese Mandarin. Very cute one. Because in Singapore, all the subjects are supposed to be taught in English. Right? Of course, he will still explain in English, but after that, when he's just talking freely, he start talking in Mandarin. So he's very cute, you know. He would tell us this. He would say things like, he wear this very thick black color specs, thick frame, very thick frame. And he will very cute, ticky tack. And then he will say things like, I think I don't think y'all can do this math sum. This one very tough one. I think you're not so smart. So I call this guy is called what? Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is a way of manipulating people, right? Yeah. So teachers do that. Yeah. The skillful teachers do that. So actually, when this person say that I'm manipulative, I feel a bit bad. I'm not so good. But this person give high praise to me. Yeah, that maths teacher, but at that age, right, I didn't understand this. So that person said, when the teacher said it, oh, I got really upset. 什么意思？看不起我？我考给你看了。Yeah. Of course, years later, then when I think about it, this teacher, I mean, the teacher don't get anything, right? You get A, you get B, you fail, unless the whole class fail lah. Okay, unless the whole cohort, yeah, 4A to 4 at that point in time that I think we have up to G or H. Unless all the cohort pass except this class, the whole class fail, then he'll get into trouble, right? But the normal distribution, there'll be some who get distinction, who get A1, A2, then there'll be one or two who a few, 5% who were jialat one. Yeah. And then most of them will be in the middle. Yeah. So if through those words of manipulation, he managed to get some of those students who are borderline to study harder and then managed to pass. And those who are B and C and D to get B and C. Yeah. B and C to get A. Then what does he get? Of course, we can say, well, if he get a lot of the students to get better points, then he will get better grading and what. Well, that's our 以小人之心斗君子之腹. Yeah. But let's assume there's a teacher who actually do this just so that he get more bonus. If you fall into the trap of his manipulation or her manipulation, you get A instead of B. And he get 7% increment instead of 4% increment. Everybody win, right? So is that a bad manipulation? Yeah, still good manipulation, isn't it? So yeah, but when we have when our mind is colored by emotions, colored by defilements, then we cannot see. Yeah. Then to put it bluntly, damn if you do, damn if you don't do. Yeah, but I've seen this kind of things too much now. Yeah. I would say, I think the key thing is more of disappointment. Yeah, disappointment. Some people say, "Oh, Sifu, don't get upset." Not upset, just disappointment. That yeah. But again, the normal distribution. The Buddha in the Anguttara Nikaya, he said there are three kinds of patients in this world. That means it's three kinds of sick person. Yeah. The first kind, whether you have doctors to treat the patient, whether he get the nurses to take care, whether you get medication or not, this first type will eventually recover by themselves. Sick but will recover. And there's a second type. Those who are, if you give medication or don't give medication, this type, second type are those who, if you don't give them medication, they will not recover. If you give them medication, they'll recover. And then the third type, whether you give medication or not, they will not recover. So the Buddha said, it is for the second type that doctors treat patients. It is for a second type that the doctors give medication. Because second type, you need medication. No medication, they will not recover. You need medication. But the Buddha still say, still the third type should be taken care of. And then the Buddha said, similarly, there are three kinds of individuals. Those who will attain enlightenment, whether there's a Buddha arising in this world, teaching the Dhamma. And then there's a second type, without the arising of the Buddha, without the Buddha teaching Dhamma, they will not attain enlightenment. The first type is, whether there is or not, they will attain enlightenment. Second type is, they need a Buddha to arise and teach, then they will attain enlightenment. Third type are those who, whether there's a Buddha or no Buddha, teach Dhamma or teach no Dhamma, they will not recover. I mean, they will not attain enlightenment. Yeah. So it is for the second type that the Buddha arise in this world to teach Dhamma. But the Buddha said, still the third type should be, given the teachings. Yeah. So the last type are those who have committed very heavy karma and in this lifetime cannot attain enlightenment. Yeah, 无逆兼罪. But after that, once that karma has ripened and the experience and use it, then the person is able to benefit from the teachings again. So teachings should still be given. So seeds planted. Then in future, when the karma ripen, finished, the person will progress. So if I can borrow this analogy, then we can say there are those who, whether there's a teacher manipulating them to study or don't manipulate them to study, they will study. Then there are those who, you need people to manipulate you. Positive manipulation, negative manipulation, then they will study, without which they don't study. And there are those who, you manipulate, cause see it, can't come back, still don't want to study. So it is for the second type that the teacher will try all means to manipulate the students. Because this second group need manipulation, then they study. But the third type should still be manipulated. Today is Sunday, so, and today is, let me see. Marcel, any questions? Do you have any personal questions?
Not a personal one, but I can paste from Slido if Shifu wants.
That'll be good. So y'all can let me have more, give you more manipulation. Shifu, there's a venerable who hugged my friend during counseling because she was distressed. He's a genuinely caring person. Is it okay? Well, so this is very, it's tricky. Yeah. On the simply put, the simple answer is not okay. Yeah. The simple answer is not okay. Yeah. But we can also find examples in the Buddha's time. The Buddha himself, there was this old lady, right? This old lady who when she was a bit crazy. Then when she saw the Buddha, then what happened? When she saw the Buddha, then the Buddha, then she want to hug the Buddha. Of course, a bit different. In this case, is that the old lady want to hug the Buddha. Then the Venerable wanted to stop the old lady. Then the Buddha told Venerable, no, don't stop her. So then the old lady hugged the Buddha. Then she was calmer after that. Then after that, the Buddha gave her teachings, and then she can't remember whether she practiced and attained enlightenment or not. Can't remember. After that, the Buddha explained that this old lady was his mother for 500 lives. So then it became a bigger question mark. Then the Buddha said, so for 500 years, she has been his mother. So when seeing him, that strong attachment arises, and if she don't get to hug the Buddha, she will feel so much grief that she will just die of sorrow, something like that. So then the bigger question comes. But if she was the mother of the Buddha for 500 years, 500 lives, not 500 years, 500 lives. Each life, imagine if it's just 60 years, 80 years, how many years is that, So then, like, why is it that she's in this state where before she met the Buddha, she was deranged? So the Buddha said, because in that 500 lives, she was obstructing the Buddha from cultivation. Yeah. Every time he wants to go and do cultivation, she said, cannot. You stay here and be my son. Stay at home. Cannot go and cultivate. So as a result, she was reborn in the lower realms for for a long time. And then even after that, when reborn as a human, her faculties are deranged. So in the Zen tradition, there's also this famous story, right? The Lao和尚and the young monk. So they were out, walk. Then suddenly they came across don't know, a stream or a muddy patch, or I think a stream. Then there was a young lady at the riverbank, unable to cross. So if I don't recall the story wrongly, then the old monk just carried the young lady across and then just left her and then walked. Then after that, the young monk was like, ding, 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 ding. Then finally asked, I thought we're not supposed to even like come in contact. But you carry her. Then supposedly the story is the old monk say, I've already put her down at the riverbank. Why are you still carrying her? Yeah. But of course, this such interpretation is, I mean, some of this can easily be sort of like abused. Like the other day we talked about abuse, right? Yeah. So that's why there are strict rules pertaining to this. Yeah. But at the same time, in the Bodhisattva teaching, right, there was a case study that we learned. So you talk about how if you go by the strict monastic code, if a monk walk past a river and there's a lady drowning, he can continue walking. He don't have to save her, because saving her means he has to come in contact with the lady. You come into contact, then breach one of the rules. So Now, this is where, hey, Sifu, why you always come with this kind of extreme example? But if a principle is sound, it will still work in extreme examples. So we actually discussed this in Vinaya class, that if you go strictly by the Sravaka Vinaya, then the Sravaka monk, that means if you go by just the monastic code, the monk probably should call for help lah, but the monk cannot help her himself. And if there's no one around, he's not supposed to help. If you go strictly by Vinaya code. So the girl, Sifu, help! I remember I watched your YouTube clip before. You're the Laksa monk. I will chant Da Bei Zu for you. Oh, I chant now, okay? Now, if you are the lady drowning, how would you feel? Would you be like, oh, 持戒清净? Because it's easy to say, oh, you are a bystander. It's easy to, after that, assuming somebody else rescued the lady, yeah, if the lady ultimately is rescued, yeah, it's easy to then say, wow, that monk is so pure, never even, you know. But what if the lady, as a result, died? CCTV captured the monk walked past and saw, but then continue walking. Then how? Of course, we can argue and say that, hey, but that was because there's life and death, ma. Yeah. So the circumstances for this is a bit tricky, lah. Yeah. But I heard from some students that in like, for example, in the secular setting, right? In counseling, in therapy, there's not supposed to be any contact at all. Yeah. At the same time, I heard from a senior Theravada monk. Okay, this one is senior. I don't, because this is sensitive, I don't mention the name. So this senior Theravada monk told me before, happened to talk about this. He said he has he's been doing counseling, prison counseling, various kind of counseling in prison counseling is in US and Australia. Yeah, in the different countries. So anyway, this venerable told me that there are some times where the person is in such grief, just like can't remember the exact detail, but like just holding the hand, you know, give them so much comfort to help them settle down. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but then he also highlighted, but you have to be careful because easy for people to then, you know, yeah. And most importantly, it is that it's easy for the person to misinterpret and then start to feel affection for you. Yeah, that's actually also part of the tricky thing. Yeah. Oh. So so to answer the question, is it okay? So it depends on where you stand. Yeah, there are a lot of contexts here. Yeah. But that's why Bodhisattva path very difficult. 你这样做也错，不做也错。Whereas if let's say for example you go by strict Vinaya code, right? Very clean and simple. Yeah. But the trouble is oftentimes when people cite Vinaya, right, is cherry picking also. For example, like I give out like my contact freely, like or even email, right? I put it out on the web. But do you know that we're not supposed to have conversation beyond don't know how many words with a lay woman, private. That if you all talk to us, right, like even text, which because in Buddha's time no text, so how well by the principle then even text, any form of communication cannot go beyond 5 or 6 words. Yeah, unless there is a man, yeah, who is of a certain age and who is knowledgeable. That means the person can understand what we are saying. Yeah. So, but usually when people cite Vinaya Code, then this one sometimes cite, sometimes don't cite. And there are many other cases. Like for example, there's this senior monk who told me that for him, when he enter a lift, if there's no one else except one lady, he will take the next lift. Yeah, which is a beautiful practice, right? But then on the other hand, that lady may, which the next question being asked, not stirring shit, just curious. So what is the Buddhist view towards women? You see, easy for someone to then think, well, you all have attitude towards women. Yeah. So in a way, 很难取舍, hard to find a balance. Yeah, hard to find a balance. Yeah. I've read that they have negative connotations towards them in the suttas, like Gotami, the first female nun. Don't answer if not comfortable to do that. Oh, I'm comfortable. The previous one even more sensitive, because it's the whole pertaining to the whole Sangha. A lot of people read the suttas and then think that that Buddhism is misogynistic. That means like have some hatred towards women, yeah, anti-woman, yeah. But Buddhism, as far as I know, okay, we don't compare with other religions, otherwise it become very tricky. But in Buddhism, arahanthood, you know the term arahant, yeah. So we have bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, bhikshu, bhikshuni, upasaka, upasika, right? Yeah. So representing these are the terms for monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen. Yeah. So bhikshu is monk. That's in Sanskrit. Bhikkhu in Pali. Then bhikshuni, yeah, in for nuns. Yeah, in Sanskrit. Then bhikkhuni in Pali. Yeah. So the bhikshuni, the ni actually came from India. It's not that they so it's very interesting. But once they attain arahanthood, in fact, if you attain sotapanna, male, if a male disciple attains sotapanna, is sotapanna, yeah, or sotapatti, yeah. Female also sotapanna, sotapatti, not sotapanani. No. So when it comes to the attainments of wisdom, there's no distinction of male and female. So in the Buddha's time, there were female arahants also. There were female arahants also. Yeah. But there are different stipulations for male and female. There are different rules specific for nuns. And then there are rules that is common between monks and nuns. Why? Because physically we are different. You all are allowed additional pieces of ropes because for your modesty. For us, just 3. You all have 5. Yeah. You all want to wear like that? Can. You go and ask the Buddha. 风一吹, woohoo! Yeah, you're okay. Yeah. Also, so I don't say that here important. As far as the teaching is concerned, it's like that. But I can't guarantee that implementation is 100% the same. Yeah. Why? Because implementation is done by unenlightened beings. Yeah. Comprises, I correct myself. Implementation comprises potentially enlightened and unenlightened beings. Because Buddhism comprises everybody. Cannot say, oh, you're not enlightened, you're not part of Buddhism. Yeah. So as a result, organization, yeah, have these 2 parts. Jolene asks, Shifu, good morning. If a female lay follower drive a male venerable to teaching location without another male follower, did we accidentally break the precept for the male venerable? Yeah, so you see, also becomes tricky, right? I understand that it is better we bring along a male lay follower in the car if we pick up a male venerable. Likewise for picking up a female venerable. Yeah, so the same applies. So the rule is not just towards female. If you are nun, then male disciple picking up, better to have another person. Yeah. So this still seems quite okay, but it means that if you have a female driver, then you have to in a way go through the trouble of finding another person to pick you up. Yeah. Some venerables would then sit behind her. Yeah. Oh, so that we have to understand why are there such rules. There was a case where there was an arahant who was who went for alms round, and then at the house of I think was a courtesan. Yeah, the courtesan invited the arahant into the house for a meal, and then the courtesan have the hearts for him. 看中他了. So then the courtesan offer for him to stay overnight. So the arahant don't have any other thoughts. Oh, okay. Because back in the days, they don't have a monastery. So anywhere they can find a place to stay over, they can stay over. And at that point in time, there were not so many rules. So he just stayed over. And then at night, the courtesan basically offered herself. Yeah. And then the arahant was like, no. Because arahant don't have any more such desire. So the arahant left. And then the saying, hell no knows wrath, a woman scorn. Have you heard of this before? Yeah. So hell knows no wrath. Yeah, a woman scorn. So a woman want you, you reject. Wow, let's see. So sorry, but arahant don't care, walk off. So the lady went spread around. How can this monk be like that? I offer him to stay over. Surely he knows what it means. But then the arahant really don't have such intention. And then basically pass this on. When it reached the Buddha called the monk over and then asked him, did this happen? Then he said, yeah, it happened. So the Buddha said, while you basically, like the gist of what the Buddha said was, while you are an arahant, you will not have any of this kind of thoughts, and you will not, end up doing the wrong thing. But you must have consideration for those who are not. So from now on, whether you're arahant or not, cannot. Yeah. So some of these rules pertaining the different gender, monks with lay female, or nuns with lay male followers, is also to do with to protect the faith of others. Yeah, even though the arahant faultless really, will not do anything stupid, but to protect the well-being of those who are not arahant yet. Yeah, those who are still practicing, those who may have doubts. Yeah, so some venerables, they would sit behind instead. Because if you, for example, you are at a bus stop, then you see a car park. Yeah, or let's say you are driving, you're in the Grab or something, then the car drive up, then you see one woman and one monk, and then they are sitting both in front. Because sometimes I do sit in front, Then imagine if you see, let's say, oh, Sifu, then you see his sister, or you see, that whichever volunteer. And because if you know Sifu, then you may even wave, hey, that's Sifu, wave back. No problem. But if let's say you are not, you don't know, and maybe you are not a Buddhist, not that you are not Buddhist, then you have funny idea, but you don't know enough about Buddhism. Okay, then you see, and worse still, if let's say the female driver is a Lao Kok Kok one. I'm not against Lao Kok Kok, but it's a fact. If the female driver is old and haggard, then they see, wow, such a kind female disciple, driving the monk. Yeah. Or if let's say the lady is young, but the monk looks very old. Wow, the the eyebrow white, then drooping over. Yeah. Then yeah. Then people may not have the wrong idea also. Yeah, but if it's young, of course, if it's lao kok kok with lao kok kok, then nobody also care. Yeah, also nobody care. But if it's a young lady and then with a young monk or look young kind of monk, like in one way am I young? I'm almost 50. Yeah. But how look young, how then people will, wow, hey, nowadays, oh, have you heard? Heard about what? That day I saw a monk in the car. Monks nowadays drive car, very common one. What car was he driving? No, not about the car. Inside a lady. Then how? So sometimes this kind of thing. That's why I like to have class on Zoom. Then don't have all this problem. We should just stay on Zoom. 不要给我麻烦. So did we accidentally break the precept? No, the precept has nothing to do with you. The precept is the monk's precept. No one can break our precept. Only we break our own precept. Yeah. Unless you have an intention to tempt the monk. And then you have problem. I understand that it's better we bring along. Yeah. So yes. So Li Ying asked further question. Yeah. So I'm okay to answer these questions, but time is up. Yeah. So as a rule of thumb, it's okay to ask more questions, but if it's extension, then we have to limit it. Her question is why Buddha said Sangha lifespan will reduce to 500 years after women join in. Yeah, just a very quick one. You have to look at the context during that time. Yeah, by and large, first of all, by and large, or very quickly, by and large, in those period, the ascetics, they are mostly all male. Yeah. Buddha, I read somewhere that Buddha is actually among the first to allow female to join in. So there's that context, number one. Number two, the nuns had more rules. Why? Because most of the nuns, most of those who were nuns were from the palace. Not because they are from palace, so they have more rules, but they are used to a comfortable life. Imagine living in a palace, suddenly go to the forest. You may think, Sifu, nothing, no big deal. I also go to the forest for retreat. When you go to forest retreat now, that one is holiday camp, okay? That one is Singapore style holiday camp. A lot of the kuti nowadays around Southeast Asia, even 16 years ago when I go, have tap, have toilet, proper facilities. In the Buddha's time, it's really just sit under the tree. Can you do that or not? Don't tell me you can. I mean, not anyone in particular, but it's very different. Furthermore, in those days, when they go to the forest, there's no monastery, like proper boundary, proper security, So as a result, some of the nuns were attacked. Yeah, it's not all the 丑八怪 then become nuns. Don't all lao kok kok 丑八怪, ugly one then become. Imagine they are court ladies. Court ladies become nun. Shave off the head, still very conventionally speaking, still very pretty, so can I attack? So a lot of other additional rules were added, but some of the rules pertain to they were used to visiting shows, they were used to entertainment, so they still were frequent. Then the senior nuns reported the Buddha, then the Buddha set down additional rules for them. Yeah. So the basis for that statement, even within the Buddhist community, there's a bit of disparity also. Yeah. But the basis that we learn is that back in those days, the females, their tendency is that they don't incline so strongly towards cultivation. So as a result, they cause the standard to be lowered. And it's not that, oh, but just a few of them, but once you're in. So it creates that, general, in a way, lowering of standard. But interestingly, it is also said that eventually in the Dhamma declining age, then what happened? Role reversal. Male don't want to cultivate, female want to cultivate. But many times when people look at the sutta and want to think that, oh, Buddhism is against women, they only cite those things that seem to put women in a bad light. But they never cite this part, where the Buddha said that in the Dhamma declining age, female will be more, zealous to cultivate. You look at this screen, how many male? We have Danny, we have Ongchit, we have Marcel, we have Hok Ji, we have Alex. Who else? Lin Toy is a female. Sai Kyang, short hair but female. Who else? The rest all female. Yeah. So we have to look at the teachings in its totality. Yeah. Because it's easy to accidentally cherry pick and then draw the wrong conclusion. In the end, what matters is whether we learn the Dhamma and practice. If we don't learn Dhamma, if we get stuck with this, and then we think, but the teaching is biased, then we are shortchanging ourselves. Then in the end, we don't practice. If we don't practice, we don't progress, we don't cultivate, we don't get liberated. 个人吃饭，个人饱；个人修行，个人了。阿弥陀佛。愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了。
普愿罪障悉消除，
普愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道。
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And as always,
乖乖，
today is Sunday. So, how was the last week? Did you all manage to not talk? Okay, so this 那个妄语二口七两舌 ，so 两舌。So today this week we practice 祈语 Yeah. So try to catch yourself talking about things that is not, first level is things that is not meaningful. Okay, in a worldly way. Then second level is anything that is not pertaining to the Dhamma. That means not pertaining to the path, not pertaining to the fruit. Now try to catch yourself. But you choose, see which level you want to do. Because on the strict level, anything that is not pertaining to the path, not pertaining to the fruit is frivolous speech. Doesn't mean you cannot say, hello, good morning, how are you? No, that's okay. Otherwise, okay. Have a non-frivolous day ahead.
师父, there's Dharma sharing in the
Oh yeah, yes. Today is very special because we have an invited Venerable Transient to give us teaching on the at 1:30 for SGC. Don't miss out this opportunity. Yeah, Venerable is a very senior monk, and he has he spent many years in Taiwan in Yuanguang Foshui, and he it's not that he was there just studying. He was a senior there. So if he go back there, he is very well respected. Yeah, he can go back there and be a teacher one. Yeah, but just like in Singapore, sometimes we say, hey, how come this Venerable can come back, don't teach? because nobody want to learn. So take the opportunity to learn from him, okay? Amitabha.
Thank you,
Take
Shifu.
care, stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, 师傅。
谢谢师傅。